Hello. So, I've been working on Flappy Dragon, which is a game for Arcade Jam, and it is due in a week, but I figured I would do a kind of quick proof of concept check-in on where I am, because right now I've got like the sort of minimal viable version of it. This is currently, I'm going to actually play my own game online just to show, just also for my own kind of like research. But this is at jacksaw.itch.io, and yeah, so Flappy Dragon. Currently, I have not made an icon for it because I am lazy. It's basically a Flappy Bird's clone, but with Dragon, which makes everything 100% better. I've done everything except for the artwork, which my friend Matthew Creed did of Jammy Custard Studios, who are wonderful. Please go check out Jammy Custard; they're amazing. And it's being made for Arcade Jam 2022, which is in association with the Arcade Vault in Cardiff, and also Sega Amusement, which is pretty amazing. Yeah, so basic controls that we've got up. So it's keyboard only at the minute. It's not on mobile currently. Flap up, flap down, which is kind of more like a swoop down. Just kind of fighting gravity. We have a fireball which we can charge, and that fires with spacebar. We can insert coins with C, and we can just have a kind of option screen for O. This game jam has really, really tight rules about what it can and cannot be. So this should hopefully be... there might be some questionable design decisions, but they are intended for the actual... for the spec of the project. So currently... Flappy Dragon, it exists. I should totally make that full screen. So let's just zoom in for right now. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, so it's really annoying. I did make a whole like animated part for this, but it wasn't rendering properly in browser, so I've now just changed it to be static. This is called an advertised screen. So this is normally on an arcade machine where you would have the actual demo of the gameplay, which I may or may not do. I mean, like, this screen exists, and that is fine. There was another thought. Oh yeah, there is no audio at present. That's one of the things which is missing. But yeah, so if we try and go start, we're reminded that we need a credit, so we hit C. When we put in a credit, we are taken to what is called the idle screen. Our dragon is here, waiting to go. Just a reminder of the rules, so we can go flapping up or swoop down. Yeah, I should change down here to swoop down. We charge up the fireball, and we're showing that it's going to be in red. We aren't told quite what that means, but hopefully it'll make sense when we see. And we press space to start, and we shall see that the credits will go down to 0, but we can always add more. So for example, what we have here is we are just flapping, and we have these bits of castle which are being chucked towards us, and we see in the top right that the fireball is now charged up in red, which means that we can fire it in case we need to get out. So like, for example, destroying something like that. Oh no, so I did get hit, which is irritating to me, but still. Anyway, we're just going to keep going, and the world gets faster and faster the fewer things we hit. So now it'll go slower because we've hit things, and that will now also go slower, and it'll go even slower, etc, etc. And we have the game over screen, and we're given a rank, given a score, told the number of collisions we had, the number of tickets we've earned, a little note telling us that if we complete it with 0 collisions, we get double the tickets, and we can play again with space. If we hit space now, we're brought back to the idle screen. If I hit space again, it reminds me that I've got to do the credits. So again, we've got to put in a credits. We can put in as many credits as we want, and then we hit space. And yeah, and cool. Okay, I'm just checking as well that if I hit space now, I don't like use up more credits, but I can keep adding credits because money. One of the stipulations is the fact that we can always coin up or whatever part of the game. So yeah, so again, we're kind of going, all this good stuff. Oh no, we used our fireball in vain. Fireballs charge up based upon the parts of the castle which fly past us. And that was a complete disaster. But point being is that there we go. We also have an option screen. This isn't really for the player. This is more for the arcade. So one of the things that the game requests is that you have the statistics at the bottom. So why did I go through in order? Is that we've got our options, our tickets, our stats. Don't quite know why this bottom text is off screen. That's really annoying, so I'm going to have to bring that up. But that's fine. We'll sort that out later. Yeah, so basically, again, I had to work out how to activate this just by doing up and down, so that was really fun to kind of learn. And then if we hit space, then basically this yeah, getting weird. Floats, man. Floats. Yeah, I've just got to do some rounding. That's not difficult, but I've just got to remember to do that. So this basically means that every time we touch a bit of castle, normally we'd go up by 0.1, but we can make it faster, for example. So the idea is that you can tweak the settings. This is how much the speed is reduced. Floats, man. So for example, this would mean that every time we hit something, the speed doesn't reduce. So let's actually try that. Let's just try having a ludicrously fast thing. This is the number, so we can hit these to increment up the number of tickets we'd get. So for example, at a cadet level, we could still get 1 ticket, for example. And again, that flies. And then this is the jackpot threshold. Now that jackpot was saying that we could get, if you score fewer collisions than the collision threshold, so if we get 10 or less, in this case, collisions, then we get the jackpot, and the jackpot gives you double points at the end of it. So if I were to finish this, I would get, and if I even, yeah, I mean, I'm doubtful we'll get anywhere with this, but still, we'll have a go. We'll have a go. So we'll do this in speed increments of 0.5, which is already going to be ridiculous anyway. And nothing gets slower despite if we hit anything. So let's try this. So we're going to go O to return. I'm going to go. So all is good, and then stuff is going to go nuts fairly quickly. Okay, we can deal with this. This is all right. I think the fact that it's not going to get slower if we hit, even if we collide, makes me really happy. Okay, and yeah, okay. So now we're going to get to the silly parts. I mean, oh no. Okay, lovely. So we still managed to get the jackpot though, so that's great. So we actually did better than I was expecting. We did better than I was expecting. But for example, we could then make it so that let's go even faster. Is it? I think I put 2 as the max. Oh no. Oh, okay. I want to change that so that I can actually get to 2 because that's fine and all. That's the fastest it can go. Let's go again. Okay, so this will be fine. And then stuff's going to get weirdish. Oh, I think that's not working. I don't think that's working correctly. Cool. Okay, that's fine. Yes, I think that is not correct. And that is fine, so I will look into that personally, because this just feels too normal. When I was doing some testing, well, maybe. I mean, like, I was doing some testing earlier, and it was completely insane. But, I mean, this is getting pretty silly. I think that's not working correctly. Point being is that at least we have the functionality. I've just got to make sure it actually happens. Anyway, but there we go. And that is the game. Yeah, so currently a couple of like minor statsy things that I need to sort out, like the increments. Need to add audio. But otherwise, this fits the entire game. Bear with me while I just grab like the specification just so we can see. I mean, we're not going to go through all of it just for your own reference. So yeah, Arcade Jam, here we go. And the detailed brief. So you see we have to adhere to all of these rules, like no longer than 60 seconds, no more than 2 mechanics, simplistic controls. Here is a kind of flow, so that's what I was talking about with the advertised, the idle, the gameplay. We don't have a high score, we just have, like, we have a score screen, but we don't have a high score stream, so it's not the worst thing in the world. And here is the tech spec, including a list of the stats that we need. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, and basically that. So, as of today, this is a working, minimal viable product of something that I've got to submit for. I believe I literally just said that is not helpful. That's my own YouTube channel. I believe the deadline is basically this time next week, or possibly. But let's just double check that, to be honest with you. Just while we're here, I think it's the 8th. I might, 9th? I think I wrote somewhere where it was. Bear with me. I actually just want to find this out, which is a really, really dumb use of everyone's time right now. Wow, it's actually surprisingly difficult to find where they'd put the date. Just curious. I really want to find this now. So... This is the best ending to a video ever. I put it in because I made like this document of everything. It is... I better have the deadline here. Did I not put the deadline? Oh, it'll be on itch. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this like this? Yeah, it'll be on itch, won't it? Because it's one of my jams. One of my jams. Game jams. Jams joined. 5 days. All right, so we've got 5 days. Yeah, April 9th. Yeah, so when I was thinking April 8th, that's fine because I've got another deadline for the 8th as well. But yeah, and there we go. So, and this is the kind of the dealio. So yeah, I can actually submit that, and then I could actually submit that right now and then just resubmit when I'm good. But yeah, so a week to go. We have a basic minimum viable product. We have an MVP. We have a Word document, which is closing. And we have a game which you can play from browser, which not mobile at the minute, but at jacksaw.itch.io/Flappy Dragon. Anyway, I hope that was relatively interesting for you, and I hope you have the best of days. Take care of yourself.